You can help this podcast by using our affiliate links to buy awesome products. All hail our affiliates: Fiverr, eBay, Halley, AI, Pinpause, CBD for Life, A Premium Auto Parts, and Fans Edge. Go to smackology.42web.io and use our affiliate links to buy from these great companies.
Everybody wants to scratch an itch, but nobody ever wants to feel this wrath. Does anybody want a bag of wicks in the cold moonlight? Everybody wants to smack a ditch. Life's a twisted plot, call it a glitch. Time to flex, no more being rich. Snitches acting funny, man, they switch. Streets are cold, gotta stay thug. People playing games, they pulling a rug. Talking big, but they just above. Ballin' hard while they tryna plug. Smack a niche, reality's a bitch. Life's a dirty game, scratching that itch. Every day grind like we in a pitch. You either rise up, or you end up in a ditch. Haters hating hard, but I'm on my grind. Stacking paper while they fallin' behind. Got my crew tight, we ain't never blind. Flexing on the haters, we a different kind. Spit 5 frames, yeah, we in the booth. All these fake thugs just hide the truth. Chillin' with the real, we ain't got no sleuth. Keep your head high, show 'em what's the proof. Stacking off the podcast, coming at you from the downside. You wanna ride or do you running high? Smack a niche, reality's a bitch. Life's a dirty game, scratching that itch. Every day grind like we in a pitch. You either rise up, or you end up in a ditch. Smack a niche, reality's a bitch. Life's a dirty game, scratching that itch. Every day grind like we in a pitch. You either rise up, or you end up in a ditch. Haters hating hard, but I'm on my grind. Stacking paper while they fallin' behind. Got my crew tight, we ain't never blind. Flexing on the haters, we a different kind. Spit 5 frames, yeah, we in the booth. All these fake thugs just hide the truth. Chillin' with the real, we ain't got no sleuth. Keep your head high, show 'em what's the proof. Smacking off the podcast, coming at you from the downside. You wanna ride or do you running high?
Natty, the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait, and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait, and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. Natty, the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait, and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait, and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? they're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. Natty, the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait, and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait, and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. Natty, the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait, and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait, and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. Natty, the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait, and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait, and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean, beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys. What can be said? It's all in your head.
He would be so scared to see me.
Everybody thinks we was doing this shit, doxing motherfuckers. Nah, they came at us first.
I got a fire raging in my front yard.
Oh, why did you set your front yard on fire? Are you drinking again?
Slacking off the podcast. Fuck your cities, our balls. Because false authorities. Slacking off the podcast. Fuck your team, dog balls. Your columns torture toilet knees.
Slacking off the podcast.
All right, guys, here we are. Championship week. Welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast.
Hello.
Hello. What's up,
Hey.
Nikki? Is that Ed? Do we hear Big Ed?
Yep.
All right, man. How you doing, brother?
Little sleepy. I just had a big piece of Oreo cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. So
Gee whiz. Ed, did you dig out over there, or did it snow over there?
no, it did not snow in the past couple of days.
Oh, we're still digging out here from 2 weeks ago.
Oh, jeez.
Are you in here, Mr. Phillips? I think that we've had fuckery that has kept Doug from joining us, even though he's the producer of the show. But that's all right. We're going to have college football guys. We're going to talk about the national championship game, the widely anticipated championship game between Ohio State and Notre Dame. And what about you, Chad? Are you with us, Chad?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Absolutely. So I know you're proud of your Fighting Irish.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. We're going to dig deep on it. Now, we've got a guest that's a Ohio State fan, and he's got his own The Buckeye Bro Show. Alex Bryan, are you on here, Alex?
I don't think Alex is here yet. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, they had my mic turned off. They always try something. I think it's just to sharpen us up a little bit.
It's because we
There
are
you go.
so important now. Like, we're getting so big. They have to.
That's what it is. It's like let's see if we can trip these motherfuckers up.
They're making like $2 an episode right now. We got to figure something out.
Hell yeah.
Right. Okay, so
You mean the streaming service is making $2 an episode off? I get that because they have to be paid, but I thought in terms of monetization, was they getting our money, right?
And then, we make that good 50 cents and they'll want like 25 cents. They'll start going up on their prices.
Goodness. It's awful. What do you think about that, Doug?
It says
I say that Alex says that he's in there, but
Yeah.
I don't see him.
he says he's backstage.
Oh. He may be muted. Let's see.
No. He's not showing up.
Goodness.
Yeah, he's definitely not here.
I just seen it said leave.
I've seen it too.
I said leave and then come back because whatever he's doing, it's not showing.
So, Nikki, I noticed on the Southeastern Conference page that there are guys that are complaining that we've suggested to them they ought to have better manners.
Yeah, they don't like it. No one.
But,
I think it's because everyone is so. For SEC, off season started, and they can't handle themselves. Well, they can't handle themselves during the season, but it's like 100 times worse during the off season. Like we had to change the group to private because of how much it was being hit, because adults don't know how to adult these days.
Alex, what did they make you do this time? God damn it!
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
they made you go in and paste that shit in a fucking browser, didn't they?
Something, yeah. I don't know.
He had to send nudes.
Yeah, there you go. What's up, y'all?
Rent in Texas, Big Daddy.
You're in Texas?
Yes,
No, Rand.
absolutely. Yeah, we're live from Texas tonight. Alex, where are you at?
Oh, cold ass Ohio per usual.
No, nobody's in Texas except Nikki.
Oh, there you
We
go.
decided to go to the championship game and realized we were in the wrong town. What
Ah,
happened with that? Did
gotcha.
y'all see that with those Ohio fans?
Well, Ohio went to a different bowl game. Ohio State, yeah, they went to the wrong bowl game. A couple fans did, I guess.
That was
Happens, I guess.
You talking about the Ohio Bobcats over there in Athens?
Yeah, there you go. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, they try to put that on you, Ohio State guys. You guys are a little more sophisticated there. They're on the edge of the mountains. We've rubbed off bad on those guys over at Athens. Us down here in the tri-state, you know.
There you go.
So, well, we're excited about this national championship, guys. It's a big game. Ohio State's a true blue blood. Notre Dame's one of the bluest bloods there is. But we're both going to engage in this first 12 team.
The bluest of all bloods, man.
The bluest of all bloods.
Yeah.
Don't tell Wolverine fans that. They'll throw a fit.
You got that right.
Fuck those Wolverine fans. That's why we won't let them on the fucking show. Ain't that right, Ed?
We're the only team that's beaten Ohio State, but it hadn't lost to them.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to unpack that where I'm a bit of a hillbilly here, and you have to move real slow for me, Ed. So unpack that for me, Ed. Let me understand it.
So Oregon beat Ohio State, but lost to them.
Oh, yeah.
So if the Buckeyes win, then we, as Michigan people, are entitled to a piece of that trophy.
Oh, shit, Ed. God damn it.
Now
Ed.
you sound like an SEC person.
Wait, hold the fuck up. So does that mean that if Notre Dame wins, NIU gets a piece of it?
That would be by logic the
That's how
same
it
thing,
works.
Yes.
No, because they didn't beat Notre Dame 4 straight.
Hey, real quick, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. So Notre Dame didn't even really show up against Penn State and still won. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Like, we walked through the first half. We continued to make mistakes in the second half. And we still walked away with a W.
Well, I wouldn't say that Notre Dame didn't show up. They got outplayed in the first half. Penn State controlled the line of scrimmage, and the score could have been worse. But Notre Dame stormed out of the locker room. Penn State then stormed back with 2 touchdowns. Notre Dame went down the length of the field to tie it up. And then you got a Drew Allard gift.
James Franklin.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Exactly.
You know, I love my name, but that was all James Franklin in that game.
Yeah,
that man cannot.
Well, you know, Notre Dame was in a position where, based on field position, they could either try to run out the clock or go for the field goal. But given the kind of game that Singleton had played, giving him the ball could have resulted in some gains big enough to get into field goal range without risking it with Allard.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck Allard was seeing there.
All I know is we lost the turnover battle. We missed a ton of fucking tackles. We had penalties. I mean, it's a laundry list of shit that we didn't do right. I don't even know if I'd give us a C grade for the game.
If it makes you
know.
feel any
You
better,
normally can't do all that type of shit and beat a top, 10 or a top 5 team, but we managed.
if it makes you feel any better, Ohio State, outside of that first scoring drive, played like shit for the rest of the game, outside of 2 big plays that happened.
Yeah, the Texas defense played well.
Yeah,
But you look at it where Ohio State had 82 rushing yards. Jeremiah Smith had 1 catch, and they beat Texas.
Yes, sir.
Now, Penn State, I'm going to give them a little bit of credit. They played a real physical football game, and it made it look like a slow and plodding game to some people. But Notre Dame also played a physical football game, and the first half was, even though they started out behind, it was just a physical, punishing game for both sides. And I think that led to the eventual outcome. And then Penn State, number 44, tried to take the game from Notre Dame. He seemed to be their best player. and he's certainly going to be a great tight end in the NFL. And he played a hell of a game. And I'm with everybody that was against Franklin. I think Franklin threw the game away. He gave up and this is Notre Dame, and they exploited him. Chad, they exploited it when they had a chance. Notre Dame exploited their opportunities and won the game. So,
Notre Dame has a very, very strong will.
Yeah, I felt they were powerful. But
does a strong will trump a team on a mission? Does a strong will trump a team on a mission?
I think both teams are on a mission.
Both of them are. That's what I was gonna say. We got both teams that were set out to shut up the haters, shut up the toxic fans, pretty much shut up anyone.
Not to be biased, but I think one team's done that way more than the other in this playoff run, and it's Ohio State. I mean, they were left for dead after they beat themselves in Columbus, because let's face it, the Wolverines didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. And we were left for dead. Nothing to keep our heads up about. And these motherfuckers said, we still got a championship to go win. And then they dog walked, literally and figuratively, the Tennessee Volunteers, which I know Doug was grinning from ear to ear about.
I mean, I just didn't think that Tennessee matched up well. I knew that when they lost to when your team lost to Michigan, Alex, it was terrible, and I know you felt terrible. But on paper, Ohio State still looked like one of the top at least 2 or 3 teams in the country, and I really think probably the best team in the country.
Well, when you go up against a team like the team up north, as bad as they were this year, and you just you bring in a game plan that makes absolutely no sense to the opponent that you're playing, and you basically shit on your own self for 60 minutes of football. It's the worst game I've ever attended in person. There was a reason I had zero faith after that we were going to do anything. I said if we beat Tennessee, we're going to get smoked by Oregon, because this team just doesn't have the will to live anymore after that game. And I guess whatever players only meeting and coaches and players meeting that they had, that Kirk Herbstreit keeps regurgitating when he's not hating on Ohio State, I guess that made all the difference, because all of a sudden I see the Ryan Day that I've been begging for his entire tenure since he started. The guy I've seen here and there spotted a few times, like against Georgia, I saw that Ryan Day. In 2019, the entire year I saw that Ryan Day. The Ryan Day that got destroyed, the will of his that got destroyed up in Ann Arbor in 2021, when they cheated, of course, to beat us.
So consider this, Alex, and you're going to hate to hear this, but what if Ohio State don't reach this intensity without that loss to Michigan? I mean,
people say that. Hey, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say we beat the team up north. We go to Indianapolis, we beat Oregon there, and then we lull into the playoffs and somehow get upset along the way. Would that have sucked? Sure, of course. But I'm still one of these people, and I probably will be to the day I die, that I don't believe in winning championships without beating them. I actually had to message Landon Beeman, and I said, when you guys lost to Auburn in 2017, how did you deal with it? Because I'm having a hard time dealing with the fact that I could have a national championship team without beating them. And he said, I just stopped giving a fuck. Fuck Auburn, what they think, blah, 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 blah. So I've been trying to get my mind around it, but I still wish that I could look at that trophy, should we win it Monday night, without there being a black eye on it. But, I know we beat ourselves that game. We should have beat them by 30, and we got in our own way because Day just sees those colors and goes into a shell of himself. But if he wins this Natty and it turns around everything for him, and he goes in Ann Arbor and just puts it in him dry next year and the year after and the year after, then it was all then it was all worth it. Because Bryce Underwood's gonna suck, and we all know that.
What?
I mean, good Lord, he's gonna be so terrible, and they're not gonna coach him for shit. I mean, it's just nothing but downhill for those Wolverines. All they have is beating us anymore, especially after the NCAA takes away everything they fraudulently got the last 3 years. So, it's gonna be great if Ryan Day can use a Natty win to turn his entire tenure around and start beating the fuck out of those fraudulent losers.
So it takes that to beat your rival, though. Like, that's ridiculous. You should beat them without having to worry about national championship. It's fucking Michigan.
So, like, Alex, here's one that you really need to contemplate. What happens if Ohio State wins the national championship and then loses to Michigan again next year?
We're right back to square one almost. I mean, Ryan Day will have some grace, obviously, for winning a Natty, but boy, you can't keep losing that game in Columbus and expect not to have backlash. It's the one game you don't lose. Buckeye fans all the time say, well, we were losing to Iowa and Purdue. Yeah, only one time, and they were both bad losses, but I would take losses to them all day over the team up north. So I would much rather have those losses than the last 4 against them that we've had.
I agree.
But the fan base is gonna if he goes up to Ann Arbor and pisses down his leg again, it's gonna be the same old story. I've said multiple times, Ryan Day needs to go get some like therapy or hypnosis just to forget what's happened the last 4 years in that game, and just go out there next year and beat the absolute piss out of them. Just score and score and score and score until Sharon Moore wants to throw himself in the nearest lake. Just beat the tar piss out of them.
Do you think your Day and this team is fighting the way they are because of the shit they've heard from your toxic fans? Like, seriously, all I've heard is Day needs to be fired. We don't need Howard. We don't need this. This is ridiculous. Since honestly, the Oregon game, it was bad after that, but that Michigan game, like, we discussed it on the show. Like, it was toxic, the shit we were reading. Like, I feel
he earned every bit of it.
This to put their fans in their place.
Now obviously, I draw the line at him having death threats and his kids dealing with shit at school. I draw a line there. Yeah. But everything the fire around it. Listen, after we lost that game and it was in hand, I was in A deck, so I was pretty close to the field, but I went as close as I could to the Fox booth and I screamed at Urban Meyer, please come back. Because I'm tired. I was tired of it. I'm tired of losing to them. We have no business losing to them. They're a poverty program that was built on fraudulence and cheating. They're nobodies, and we shouldn't be losing to nobodies. So
I think the fan base is who needs therapy.
Ryan Day deserved every bit of the criticism he's gotten from that. Now, has he shown new life? Yes, he has. Let's see if it lasts past this year. I hope it does.
Shut up. Like, you're wanting me gone. You want me fired, but you're going to praise me as soon as I win a Natty.
Welcome to college football, Nikki. Nikki, your fan base, Urban Meyer's first year when he lost 3 games, he went to a bar and they booed him because they wanted Urban Meyer fired after 1 year. Imagine if they got their way. You guys wouldn't have won.
No, he got booed. He got booed in Gainesville because he didn't have a blonde in his lap.
To not have Urban Meyer as our coach. I worked under them. No, he is a dirtball.
And he won 2 natties. You're welcome.
Trash when it comes to the way he runs a program. Complete trash. He destroys them.
Okay, but you won 2 natties because of that, man.
And
so I mean, it's the same situation. You can call our fan base toxic.
Michigan would get rid of my national championships to not have him taint what he did.
I would love you to get rid of him. That means Ohio State gains an extra natty.
Well, that's fine. You still didn't.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Still didn't beat us.
Hey, if you want to put that into the NCAA in Florida to say, hey, we'd like to surrender our 06 natty to Ohio State, by all means, we can rewrite history.
I could, if he did not coach us, I'd be happy. He is trash.
So
like
you can call our fan base toxic all you want, and I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But like, this is college football. This is everywhere. Michigan fans wanted Jim Harbaugh fired after going 0-5 against us.
Fighting is to put your own fan base in their place.
No, I don't.
They're pissed off.
I don't think it has anything to do with our fans at all. I think it has to do with themselves.
Can I interject something here, though?
Go for it.
I don't give a fuck what fan base you're talking about. When things are not going the way they want them to go, they're gonna turn on the coach. It happens. It happens fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Notre Dame lost to NIU. You know how many fucking Notre Dame fans were like, get Freeman the fuck out of here?
Yeah. And rightfully so, because that was the second bad loss to a group of 5 team.
Right. But
that doesn't change my question. I know how college football works. I'm saying they're pissed off because their own fans have turned not only against their coach, but that whole team. Their fans were out there. We spent this much money on these players, and they lose to Michigan again.
Rightfully so.
So here's the thing. So here's the thing with 12 spots now, you're not going to fuck up your year with 1 loss to anybody.
And on Notre Dame's defense on losing those games, both NIU and Marshall, as far as the small schools go, are the top of the heap. Right? They've both won multiple championships.
It's hard to get your guys ready for a team like that because they're kids. They don't really believe they're going to lose to a team that can't win on paper. But games ain't fucking played on paper, are they?
And if you're Marshall, that a game like that for you is a Super Bowl. So if somebody gives you an opener in a game like that, it's like your Super Bowl. They're still off. They're still talking about that game here. Like it really meant anything other than Marshall had a big win. But here in the scheme of things, it doesn't really matter because today we're talking about Notre Dame being in the national championship, right? And they overcome the loss to Northern Illinois. They became a physical football team with great defense, power running backs, and really the only flaw for Notre Dame is their inability, in my opinion, to get explosive plays deep out of their passing game, which if I was going to analyze this, that's the advantage that Ohio State has, but I like Notre Dame's secondary. And since we was talking about Michigan's game, that was the real problem for Ohio State and why they didn't win. For some reason, they felt like they shouldn't challenge Michigan's secondary.
Amen. I'm so tired of hearing Wolverine fans say, "Oh, well, you attempted to pass the ball. You threw it 33 times." Okay, how many times did we throw a pass over 10 yards? 4.
Exactly.
4 times.
That's what Ohio State is about this year.
We didn't try him deep enough. And anytime we threw it to Jeremiah Smith downfield, it was either caught, a touchdown, or defensive pass interference. We didn't try enough.
I agree with that.
And they're like, "Oh, well, we didn't have time. We were pass rushing you every play." I'm like, there were a lot of times Will had time back there. We were chalking up plays that were like 5-yard out routes and shit. I mean, we weren't even trying them downfield nearly enough, like we have been this entire playoff run. This entire playoff run, I've seen an Ohio State team that I'm like, where the fuck has that been all year? That's what we expected all year.
Well, you know how that shit goes too, and they fuck around for long enough, and then next thing you know, they're in a fucking ball game, and they're scared to do anything risky because they're trying to win
their hands.
They're trying to win a close ball game, and that's exactly what happened. I watched it.
It's exactly what Wink Martindale, their defensive coordinator, said, or whoever it was. We just wanted to get them into the fourth quarter and then drag them in the deep water. And we played right into it. We were like, oh, let's run our running backs right into their 2 first-rounder defensive tackles. That'll work. We got to prove how tough we are. They say how we're not tough. We got to prove it. Well, you prove it by going out there and just beating the fuck out of people like we have this playoff run. That's how you prove you're tough. So that should have been there all year. Losing the Oregon game, okay, the first time around, I get it. It was at Autzen. It was a tough environment, and we lost by a point because we ran out of time. Cool. But that loss at home, that should have never happened. And whether you want to credit them or not for waking us up, whatever, do what you got to do. But whatever it took, this team has done it. And this is a fever dream national title game for me. Like, I expected to be here at the preseason. Then obviously my hopes and dreams died in Columbus, Ohio on November 30th. And now all of a sudden I'm 3 days away from watching my team play for it anyway. And of course I got Wolverine fans claiming half of the Natty if we win and all this other bullshit.
I just said a piece. I didn't say a half.
And you know, whatever. I won't be able to hear Wolverine fans after Monday after I have 2 playoff trophies blocking both of my ears.
Fuck you, Ed. UCF gets half.
Yeah, UCF gets half. There you go. But yeah, like I said, it's a fever dream national title game. No wonder the tickets are so expensive. You got 2 blue blood programs. I mean, I've talked to Sean Devine. I've talked to a lot of other Notre Dame buddies of mine, and I have a lot of respect for Marcus Freeman. Obviously, he's a former Buckeye. You know, he's greatness personified in that front. I think this is at least a couple years too early for Notre Dame. I think once they get some better weapons at wide receiver and an actual like better quarterback that can really break open that offense more, I think that I think in the next 5 to 7 years, Notre Dame will have a national championship under Marcus Freeman. But right now, this team from Columbus is on a fucking mission, man.
Don't shoot your wad. We're going to take a commercial first.
As on Monday.
And when we come back, we have a fellow who is a regular contributor, Jason Marks. He's not here tonight, but he did lay down a projection for the game, and I'm going to play that, and then we'll go into it. Let's do a commercial, and then we'll come back and listen to Jason for a second.
CBD for Life offers a variety of THC-free CBD products, including CBD rubs, gummies, tinctures, sprays, CBD skincare products, and more. Expertly crafted to help you look and feel your best. Go to smecology.42web.io and click our CBD for Life link at the top of the page for great deals on assorted CBD products.
Smacking Off the podcast can use your support. How can you support us? You can buy awesome products using our affiliate links. These are products you want, products you need, in other words, stuff you will likely buy anyway. Go to smacology.42web.io and use our affiliate links at the top of the page. eBay, Fiverr, CBD for Life, A Premium Auto Parts, Clear VPN, Haley AI, Fans Edge, and Pinpause. We appreciate your support today, as well as in the future.
Smacking Off merch is available at our spread shop. Find awesome hoodies and t-shirts in all colors. Want it in your team color? Hit us up and tell us what you want, and we'll send you the web address for your custom shirt within 1 day. Go to smacology1.myspreadshop.com for awesome smacking off stuff.
Prioritize your pet's health, not financial stress. Comprehensive accident and illness coverage. Preventative care. No breed or age restrictions. For pet-centric membership perks included. Plans starting at $19.99 a month. Don't let inflation catch you unprepared. Your pet is counting on you for everything. Go to smacology.42web.io and click the pin pause link at the top of the page for the best pet care insurance in the business.
Started.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Ow. Welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast, guys.
We're back in the New York groove. I'm fixing to throw up some Jason Marks, and he's got a 2-minute presentation here, and we're going to listen to that, and then we'll go into this.
The Ohio State Buckeyes and Notre Dame Fighting Irish will do battle for the national championship Monday night in Atlanta. This game has the potential to be a classic, or it has the potential to be a blowout. So what are some of the keys that may impact the result of this game? The first one is going to be obvious, and that's going to be the battle between offensive coordinator Chip Kelly and defensive coordinator Al Golden. Did the Texas Longhorns give the Irish the blueprint to slow down Ohio State's offense, as they were able to hold Jeremiah Smith to 1 reception for 3 yards? Will they be able to repeat that again? They do have the potential to do so. But on the other side of the football, can Notre Dame be able to move the ball down the field against an Ohio State defense that has been playing demonic since their regular season finale loss to rival Michigan? The big thing that I'll be watching Monday night will be the strategy of the Notre Dame offense. With a banged-up Jeremiah Love and a dinged-up offensive line, will they be able to establish the run to open up things for Riley Leonard to be the Swiss Army knife that he is capable of being? And also, if Notre Dame implements a time of possession keep-away strategy to keep the Ohio State offense on the sidelines to avoid this from becoming a shootout. Because if it becomes a shootout, then Ohio State is going to win this game. How do I think this game is going to play out? I think it's going to be competitive in the first half. Notre Dame's defense is going to be able to slow down Ohio State's offense for a little bit. But will they be able to move the ball? I don't feel as confident with the way that Ohio State's defense is playing, which will eventually keep the Notre Dame defense on the field, and eventually the dam is going to break, opening up opportunities for the skill position players on Ohio State, and Will Howard will have a field day. Ohio State runs away with it in the fourth quarter. Final score, Ohio State Buckeyes 31, Notre Dame Fighting Irish 13.
All right, y'all heard it. Y'all heard him.
Hell, I agree with him in general. I think that basically Notre Dame to win the game, they've got to play a similar game that Michigan did with Ohio State earlier in the year. And they've got to play a physical game and get Ohio State sucked into a slugfest. What do you got on it, Chad?
Well, I couldn't hear the audio at all on that. It was just completely mute. But for me, it's just really, really simple. We have to keep their receivers out of the game, and I think our secondary is capable of doing that. If there's any secondary in the country that can, it's ours. But honestly, I think that it really, and on paper, Ohio State is a better team than Notre Dame. I will not debate that with anybody. But sometimes I just think the moment is bigger than any talent disparity. And you know, we got Marcus Freeman. The game's in Atlanta, Georgia. It's on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's almost like a movie script. And I honestly think that under any other circumstance, we would probably lose. But I think we win. I think Notre Dame beats Ohio State because the moment will be bigger than the talent.
You heard it here first, everybody. Notre Dame's winning the Natty because Marcus Freeman is black. There we go. There it is. MLK Day, baby.
I don't think it has to do with that. I think honestly, Ohio State, talent-wise, of course, off the charts over Notre Dame. But there's something about this Notre Dame team that is proved over and over to be able to take it to the next level. On my end, it's that defense. Watching that defense come out against probably the last 5 they've played. That defense has just been fierce. If they can keep that going the whole game, they have a chance. They have a big chance.
But can they count to 11? Can they count to 11? That will be a big key for Notre Dame because the last time we played, they could not count to 11 twice. And it allowed Ohio State to go win the game. Does Marcus Freeman know how to count to 11 now?
I think they've rectified that. I think they've been well coached this year, and they do have a chance. But if you look at it on paper, you have to say that the ability to create explosive plays is a huge deal for Ohio State. But we've seen that if the team can stop that with a secondary like Notre Dame's, a secondary like Texas has, that you can you have a chance. And if you can stop the explosive plays, you can control the football. Notre Dame has a chance. But I really believe that there's a slight edge of talent for Ohio State overall, especially, and their ability to create explosive plays is a big deal. But man, based on what happened against Michigan, based on the Texas game, based on the kind of secondary that Notre Dame has, I think Notre Dame has a chance. And it's also interesting that Marcus Freeman will also be the first Korean head coach, right, to win a national championship, which is very interesting.
Be a Korean holiday on Monday too. There just has to be some Korean holiday too, right?
Oh yeah, and I think the story is that Marcus's dad was a soldier that served in South Korea and met a woman and brought her home. Is that right, Chad?
Yes.
That's very. My daughter was born in the Federal Republic of Germany, right, at Würzburg Army Hospital, and stuff like that goes on. And my daughter's every bit 100% American citizen, and I'm proud of her. Former Clemson basketball player, and so Marcus Freeman comes out of every kind of heritage. I think he represents everybody in the world, and the fact that here in America you can get a fair chance and that you can be somebody, and I think that's a huge deal, right? But for Notre Dame to win, they're going to have to play a near perfect game, and in my opinion, their only real edge is in special teams. Right, and they're secondary.
That finally, that might be significant because with everything else that's been said about that Michigan game, if their kicker makes 2 relatively short field goals,
isn't much better than ours. Their kicker isn't much better than ours. That's not where the edge is. He's talking about the kick and punt return game.
I understand.
And blocking punts.
Exactly.
That's where Notre Dame shines.
That's where they shine, and that's where they can create big plays, right? Yeah. And that's why they have to keep close. That's why they have to control the football. That's why they have to be able to play a punting game and keep Ohio State from ass ripping them for 60-yard plays, right? They just can't allow that, right? Now, and it's all about decision making. If you're a safety for Notre Dame in this game, and your Chip Kelly has coached it, you've got to know that they're going to exploit that Ohio State has running backs too, like Judkins, and they're going to run play action. And what's going to happen when they run play action? If Notre Dame bites, Ohio State wins the game.
Now, Chad, I got a question. How long has Morrison been out?
Mid-season.
Okay. Yeah, because I haven't been paying much attention, and I heard he was out, and I was like, how long has that motherfucker been out? Listen, Notre Dame secondary is great. There's no doubt about that. They tend to pump out safeties, especially into the NFL, that last for a long time and everything. We have a great secondary too, obviously. And there is that on offense for Notre Dame. There is that whole caveat of offensive linemen being out for them. We've had offensive linemen out for us since around midseason as well. So, this game is going to be a trenches game, like it usually always is, but especially in this one. And if we're able, especially on our defensive line, if we're able to create pressure and make sure that Riley Leonard can't run all over us, because that's the biggest thing I'm worried about, is him being mobile and getting yards on us that we shouldn't allow him to get. If we can contain him and get him rattled, I think we can do exactly what that video says and run away with it in the fourth. It's either going to be one of two ways. It's going to be either a one possession game, either one wins it, or Ohio State's winning by blowout. I hope it's a competitive game just because those semifinals were really awesome to watch, and I'd like the Natty to be the same way. Just so we can even more so, whoever wins it, prove that they deserve to be champions, because all these Wolverine fans especially are saying, oh, well, the 12-team playoff, both of these teams probably wouldn't even be in if that was still a thing. Well, Notre Dame would be. Ohio State maybe not. But
Notre Dame wouldn't have been it either.
I mean, they might have with one loss. Obviously, the one loss was bad, but they might have squeaked in with the one loss. It depends. But either way, I think
I can tell if it's a 14 playoff. I can tell you right now who it would be.
Oregon, Georgia, who?
Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and Penn State.
I don't know if they leave Notre Dame out of that, man.
Being over Penn State.
Texas doesn't get in the top 4 with 2 losses.
We never Georgia in the rankings. We never moved past Penn State.
Well, you can't use these rankings as the proof of that, because it would have been judged. It would have been judged. It would have been judged differently in a 14 playoff.
And they
Absolutely.
Outside of the 4 is because that was part of their deal, not being in a conference. They can't be in that top. They can't get a bye. So
exactly.
If it went back to the 4, they would have it. But because it's grown, they don't have a chance to get in because they can't play for a conference championship game.
Yeah.
Now, another aspect of this game that's historic, there's actually 2 of them. But another aspect of this game that's historic is that if Notre Dame wins, they will be able to dictate that they can get a bye, and they will also be able to guarantee their ability to stay independent near indefinitely. And then the second historic thing about the game is that I've had several fusses with Landon Beeman and others on the different groups that we all chat in, and about the spread offenses and the constantly explosive passing game. He said that was the future of college football and that nothing would stop it. Yet now it's been stopped, right? And power football rules the day. And we're getting ready to see 2 power football teams play for a national championship. And they ran through a gamut of power football teams that did it. And the most physical team will win this game. So the whole trend of spread football isn't over, but it's been validated that power football still wins and defense will win this game.
I'll say this. I think even if Notre Dame doesn't win Monday, that they've earned the right to lobby with the committee to earn a top 4 seed in the future.
I would agree.
Because nobody but level-headed people like myself gave them a chance against Georgia. And I told every Notre Dame fan I talked to, I said, I think you're going to beat Georgia. I don't think they have the offense like they had before, and I think you'll take advantage of that. And that's exactly what happened. And
I picked Georgia on the podcast. I mean, sorry, I picked Notre Dame on the podcast.
And I believe you did, because you're level-headed. But I told a buddy of mine's uncle who's a big Notre Dame guy. I said Notre Dame has to do 3 things. They have to. Riley Leonard has to be mobile. He was. Their defense has to get some turnovers. They did. And Marcus Freeman has to outplay Kirby in a chess match. And boy, did he ever, especially with that whole taking 12 guys off and putting 12 guys on and getting them to go off sides. That was beautiful. If Ryan Day did that a couple years ago against Georgia, we might have won a national championship a couple years ago. That was the exact type of shit I wanted to see from Ryan Day when we played Georgia, and Marcus Freeman did it. And I was like, they're going to the national championship. They're not losing to fucking Penn State. Penn State's great, but I mean, Notre Dame will have the momentum at that point to win that game, and they did. And now they're gonna be able to lobby for that top four, and they should. I mean, they shouldn't be excluded from that just because they're not in conference. And this playoff, and obviously like the 4-team playoff the first year, it was all experimental. They saw what they did wrong. It's the same thing here. You know, we saw that maybe this whole conference champs getting automatic bye weeks probably shouldn't be a thing. Maybe we should just.
So I want to make a couple comments here.
Let them all lose.
First of all, if Notre Dame did get into a 14 playoff, if it was still 4 teams this year, there's no question in my mind who the national championship or the national champion would be this year.
Oregon?
No.
Oh.
I'm serious. Like, you know, Texas lost fucking twice to Georgia.
And
Notre Dame handled Georgia.
And I will say this. If Georgia had played in a national title, I think maybe Georgia probably wins just because Kirby is very familiar with that spot. But if you had gotten them in the semis, like you did like you got them in the quarters, I think that Notre Dame still wins that game.
I think this year Georgia would have. I don't think this year Georgia would have. There was too much.
It just depends.
Yeah, they just with losing Beck and Gunner just not having the experience. I don't think Georgia was going to this year, and I think we honestly seen it when they lost to Bama and Ole Miss. Like the talent wasn't like it years past.
The reason I say that is like if they had gotten, let's say, Penn State round in the semis, right, in the 4-team,
yeah,
and you get Gunner Stockton a game where they go and beat Penn State and he gets his confidence right, then you take that into the Natty with Kirby having the experience there. I think that would have helped them dividends. But the fact that he had to play a Notre Dame team that was hungry to prove something, that hadn't won a big game, bowl game like that in like 30 years, and they had the defense, they had just enough, and obviously Gunner Stockton, that was his first time really out there. That played a lot into it, and like I said, Marcus Freeman was able to outplay.
But Gunner Stockton played pretty well, actually.
Yeah, he didn't play awful.
He just didn't have.
But he didn't have enough under his belt.
This was not the same Georgia team.
Here's the thing. I think Notre Dame has to step back and thank Brian Kelly, because they went out there to beat Georgia to prove him wrong.
God, that was the best thing.
Notre Dame cannot beat SEC schools. No, it's just Brian Kelly cannot beat SEC schools. And Marcus Freeman went out there and he proved it.
There
and
you
I
go.
think that I'll thank Brian Kelly right now because he's.
Oh, they were thanking God for the longest time after he left for LSU.
I talked to so many people that wanted him gone years before he finally left.
Well,
pick me. Like if you guys remember this? I was on a podcast like a week before Brian Kelly announced that he was leaving for LSU, right?
Yeah, that was our podcast.
That's what I was on this. That's what I mean. I was on this podcast, and I said that I want Brian Kelly to leave. You asked me who I wanted to replace Brian Kelly, and who the fuck did I say I wanted to replace Brian Kelly?
You said Marcus Freeman.
Yep. Yeah, you had lots of conversations about that offline as well, Chad. You advocated highly for Marcus Freeman. I remember that specifically.
All right,
it was a no-brainer.
Let's
It
go
was
ahead
in
and
a win.
roll. Let's go ahead and roll into our score predictions so we can give everybody a
Wait,
chance to.
So wait, what you're saying? If we say it out loud on Smacking Off, it comes true. So can I like throw out there like Marcus Freeman to the Cowboys? Because if we're gonna lose, we might as well be pretty to look at, right?
He's not a pro coach. He's a college guy.
Chad's not gonna.
I agree with that assessment. I really do.
Keep him at Notre Dame. That's the perfect place for him. Unless Ryan Day keeps fucking up, then hey, Ohio State, go hire the guy.
I don't think he's leaving Notre Dame.
He never will. I know, but he feels pretty at home there. He can stay there. That's fine.
Ed, you go first.
I think that Notre Dame's defense will play as well as Texas's defense. I don't think Notre Dame will give up an offensive touchdown. So I've got Ohio State at 21 points, and I think Notre Dame wins a close one, 24-21.
Wait, so Notre Dame's defense doesn't give up an offensive touchdown. So where's Ohio State getting 21 points?
No. Notre Dame's offense does not give up a touchdown to the Ohio State defense like Texas's did. Maybe I didn't say it right.
Like a fumble 6 or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Go ahead, Nikki.
Well, it's hard because this game, in my eyes, watching both these teams all season, it can go either way.
We know who you're going with, Nikki.
You know who I'm going with because
I
I will not choose Ohio State. But I do have it in a close one. I got Notre Dame 27, and I got Ohio State 24.
Jesus Christ, Alex. It's 2-0 already against your team.
That's okay. It's Ohio against the world. It always has been, like Ryan Day says. Listen, Malik Zaire once again running his mouth on Twitter. Lou Holtz once again running his mouth, old ass. It's always been Ohio against the world, and I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now, to be honest with you. So, Ohio State, I believe that this will be a close game at halftime. I think both teams are gonna feel each other out. Yeah, both. There's my goat on the right there. Anyway. Now, I believe it'll be a close game at half, but I do believe I agree with that video. I think talent will take over in the second half. We're going to make the plays we need to make. Riley Leonard is a great quarterback, but he's very limited in the passing game, and I think that we'll take advantage of that on defense. I don't think we're going to give up much scoring wise, to be honest with you. I think we'll probably keep them around the same that we kept Texas. I honestly would have to closely agree with that score prediction on that video too. I think it's going to be Ohio State in the end, 31, Notre Dame 14.
Ed already went.
I can promise you right now that it's not going to be a 17-point blowout.
The score will be larger than the game indicated because we'll pull away late.
I still disagree. I think I'm sticking with my Irish. And crazy enough, Nikki, believe it or not, you stole my fucking score.
That's okay. We can go with two scores that are the same.
So yeah, 27-24.
So me, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think a safety could win this game, and I'm picking Notre Dame 22-21.
Wow.
All right, so we know if this game was played on paper, Ohio State is the winner, but games aren't fucking played on paper. They're played on grass, right?
Sean Devine told me to say Irish by 50.
So they're playing on grass, am I right?
Maybe or AstroTurf or something. I don't know.
It's something. It's definitely not paper. So I want to go with Notre Dame, and I think Notre Dame will have a shot. But give me Ohio State 31, Notre Dame 27.
Ow.
At least I got somebody on my side. Ohio against the world, baby.
I think a lot of people are going Notre Dame because that's the feel-good story.
Yeah, they hate Ohio State too. That helps.
I mean, I hate Ohio State, and I had to go with them though. So
yeah, well,
there's that.
It is what it is.
It is. So, anybody got anything to add before I hang up on you motherfuckers?
Bobo left Georgia.
Go Bucks. Fuck the Irish. Lou Holtz's old ass will be home by halftime.
No.
Playoff was a blast.
If this makes you feel any better, my dad hates Notre Dame. I'm actually the only Notre Dame fan in my family. He's he's a fucking Boiler fan.
Purdue?
Yeah, the bubble makers.
I mean, at least he's not a Wolverine. That's the worst. I mean, we can both agree on that. They fucking suck.
Yeah, but
hold on now, Chad. You kind of like Indiana yourself.
I like Indiana.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I don't hate Indiana. I'm not an Indiana Hoosier fan.
I mean, you were an Indiana fan this year, kind of.
Kurt Cinetti talked a lot of shit before that game, and boy, did he!
Hey, let's. But anyway, my dad thinks Ohio State's going to blow out Notre Dame, but of course, because he hates Notre Dame. But also, since you guys brought up Indiana, let's not forget that Indiana's only 2 losses this year are to the 2 teams that are playing in the national championship.
And they didn't belong, I was told. Indiana didn't belong in the playoff, I was told.
But you know what? And there would be a lot of people who would clap back at this, but I think that there's several teams in the playoffs that Indiana would have beat, including Tennessee. So I would say Tennessee, SMU, Arizona State, Boise State, and on the right day, I could even see Indiana beating Penn State.
Yeah. When they played Notre Dame, they weren't playing good ball that day. But I think on a lot of good days that they could have beat some teams in this playoff for sure. This is the best outcome for Indiana. This national title.
The only 2 teams that I really have a hard time seeing any scenario where they do win is against the 2 teams that they lost to. And that's the honest truth. They're not beating Ohio State. They're not beating Notre Dame. But everybody else, I would give them a shot.
God, they even beat the Wolverines.
Yeah, so Ed, that's what I was going to ask, Ed, before I click this button here. You think Indiana would have beat Michigan?
They did beat them.
Thank you for supporting Smacking Off the Podcast. Make sure to stream in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for an all-new live cast.